I would 100% say Christian Peter. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that dude was crazy. I mean, crazy. I went against him every day in practice. I remember one day I was running scout team. I think I ended up pancaking him on a block, and he stood up and just started to wail on me. My instinct was, I'm just going to start wailing back. Tried to do whatever I could. Couldn't do much, right? He's not 6'3", but he was, he was 320, 310, 320, just a monster. He was a monster. He was MFing me, and I'm going to kill you. And our defensive coordinator, Coach McBride, gets up and goes, you guys are out of here. Go to the locker room. And I'm just like, no. I knew I was safe out here.
Coach, I'm going to sit out here.
Yeah, but you're sending me to the locker room with a guy that is so mad at me right now. Yeah. I'm walking, like almost sprinting to the locker room as fast as I could, and he's walking, and I get all my stuff off, and I was going to forego a shower. And here he comes walking into the locker room, and I'm just like, all right, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. And he comes over to me, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, hey, man. And he goes,
What's up, everybody? This is Coach Love with the ROK Podcast, also known as Recruit Oklahoma. Today on the ROK Podcast, we're sitting down with a true trench warrior with championship DNA. And from dominating Friday night lights at Mustang High School to becoming a three-time national champion at the University of Nebraska, Josh Heskew has lived the kind of football story most players only dream about. He's the first player in Mustang history to be named All-State by all three major publications: the Tulsa World, the Daily Oklahoman, and Oklahoma Coaches Association. From there, he took his talent straight to Lincoln, Nebraska, where he helped build one of the greatest dynasties college football has ever seen. We're talking grit, tradition, the gold standard, excellence. He's now forever enshrined in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. This conversation goes beyond the rings and records. We're diving into the legacy, life after football, the mindset that separates good from the greats, and the roots that shaped it all right here in Oklahoma. So buckle up. This is one for the linemen, the unsung heroes, okay, the underdogs. I want to welcome to the show Josh Heskew. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you, Coach Love, for having me on the show. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here.
Man, I appreciate you stopping by. And, when I saw you a couple of months ago now, I saw you in the gym, and I'm like, man, you look familiar. So talked to you and found out who you were, and I'm like, yeah, this man did beat my tail on the gridiron a few times. So, man, but yeah, playing at Nebraska. Yeah. My first, and I always have to tell the story. My first ever college game was against Nebraska Cornhuskers, primetime TV, ESPN. First college game it was a Thursday night game. And y'all beat the dog mess out of us, man. That was crazy, man. Do you remember that? You probably didn't know you were playing me, but you probably remember coming to Stillwater.
Yeah, I remember that game for several reasons. One, it was my first game that I traveled, other than the bowl game the year before, which was kind of cool. But it was my first game to travel as a player to an away stadium. The other reason why I remember it is because we landed a 737 at Stillwater Airport.
Oh, man.
And took off after the game.
How'd that happen?
Oh my goodness gracious! I've never seen a plane have its tail over the fence of the airport. Yeah. In order to have enough runway to take off. So
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dang. It was. I think all of us on that plane were a little. We're a little tense, but the game was great. I do remember the game. It was fairly close in the first quarter. Yeah. And then Lawrence Phillips had his coming out party. Ended up rushing for over 200 yards that game.
That's crazy.
And it was all history at that point. I mean, that guy kind of made his stamp on that game.
And you guys, even after Lawrence put his mark on the game, you had guys coming out the stable like Amon Green, like the backup. He went on to the NFL and played some years. There was another guy, I think Amon.
Well, 30 was Amon.
Yeah. Was there a Corey or something like or Benny? Joel
Makovica was there.
No, I remember Makovica.
Yeah, Makovica was 34.
Yeah.
we end up having Damon Benning was
that's
21.
Yes,
Yeah,
21.
number 21. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's the name.
I think he does like the Big Ten Network now. He's a sportscaster for them. So you get to see him every now and again. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and not to mention you played for 3. With your career, you played with Tommy Frazier.
Yep.
That's who came and mollywopped us. Yeah, Tommy Frazier, and then Brooke Did you say Behringer or Behringer?
Behringer. Yeah.
Behringer.
Uh-huh.
And then of course Scott Frost came in a little time after that, but
they came in booing him. That's what's funny. They came in booing him in the very beginning, and he ended up turning that ship around fairly quickly and putting another one on the board for us. So.
I can say I played against some legends. My freshman year, man, that was crazy. So playing against you guys, you had legends on your squad. I mean, Grant Wistrom and all those. I mean, all those guys that went to the league, and then I played against Tennessee, which Peyton Manning was playing.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, I done played against some in my bowl game. We played against Purdue.
Yeah.
Now, game was over, but guess what? Freshman came in at the end. Drew Brees. Yeah. So he came in at the end of the game, and I'm seeing highlights of him. I'm like, I didn't know I played against Drew Brees. But
he's probably one of my favorite players to watch in college. But we had mutual opponents, man. We played against Tennessee in '97.
Yeah.
Right.
And exactly.
That was that. I'll tell you that, and that made me that right there made me a Peyton Manning fan. Believe it or not, playing against him and getting to know him before the game. You know how those bowl games are, where the teams would come together and Aaron Taylor and Peyton were really good friends because they were on all the All-American teams and stuff like that. And so he came over on all of those dinners, and he would sit with us and hang out with all the Nebraska guys. And so we all kind of got to know him. So after you kind of get to know a guy like that and see what kind of guy he is, he's hard not to root for. So
now, and Taylor was the center before you took over. Okay.
Yeah. But he Outland Trophy winner, right? Great player.
He's pretty good,
fun guy to play with. Yeah. I mean, the guy could. I mean, he didn't look like anything special. Which if he heard this right now, he'd laugh because he knows we always made fun of him that he wasn't even 6 foot. But he was about 330 pounds, but could move, and there wasn't anybody that could stand in front of him.
No, I bet not.
One-on-one, I would take him against anybody that was out there. So it was. Big boys.
Yeah. Now, you were pretty big. Now, you slimmed down a little bit. Yeah. So how big were you when you got to Nebraska?
So I graduated high school at about 240.
Okay.
Played in that Oklahoma All-State game. Yeah. And I blew out my knee.
That's why you had
in the Oklahoma All-State game. And so I refused my scholarship first semester.
Okay.
And then I signed second semester.
Gotcha.
So I kind of sat around and still ate like I normally would eat if I was playing. And by the time I got in I came into spring that year, and at the end of the year, I was up to about 260, maybe 265.
Okay.
Especially after I figured out what position I was going to play, because that was still up in the air for a while.
Okay.
So
because at one point in time you caught some touchdowns as a tight end, right?
At Mustang.
At Mustang, yeah.
At Mustang, and that's what they recruited me as.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So everybody in the country when I came out was recruiting me as a defensive lineman.
Okay.
And then I all stated on both sides of the ball, and Nebraska, I guess they just liked what I did on offense, right? I mean, they wanted to run the ball, and I was a hard-nosed blocker. That's all I wanted to do is just knock people on the ground all the time, and I could catch the ball. I could run a little bit, and so they ended up recruiting me as a tight end.
Okay.
And of course, I came in with a blown ACL, so they fixed that ACL up there.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you go from a 4.7 40 to a 5.2 40.
yeah, that'll change some things.
They're telling you you're not playing tight end anymore.
Yeah, no,
I think we're going to move you a little more, inside the line.
You still have good footwork, but you're not that fast.
Exactly. Which was, if you think about it, it's kind of came a trend now. I mean, think about all these good centers, ones that came through OU and all these other players. Nebraska had several of them that they got recruited as tight ends and they got converted over to a center. I mean, and I guess it's a frame that they could put weight on, good feet, like you said. Our centers pulled all the time, so we would pull to catch middle linebackers.
Yeah.
We did all that kind of stuff. So it was good to have guys that can move a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. So now going back to your younger years, rewind back to little Josh, okay, back in Mustang. So did you grow up in Mustang?
Yeah. Born in Shawnee, grew up I moved to Mustang when I was in fourth grade. And so,
in fourth grade?
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you fall in love with football?
Just the physical aspect of it. I had a temper.
Okay.
And so
that helps.
I had a temper. I was a mean little kid, and man, it was an avenue to be able to take out frustration.
Were you a bully?
I don't know if I would say I was a bully. I'd hold my own though.
Let some of the other kids in the neighborhood tell you.
Yeah, some people may classify that as a bully. I just felt like I had a very strong personality.
Okay, there you go. Okay. So when did you start playing?
So I started playing when I was in first grade.
First grade. Okay.
So I was 5 years old. I just turned 5.
Yeah.
Started playing actually when I was in Moore.
Okay.
So I remember pretty vividly my dad taking us to the community center in Moore, me and my brother.
Okay.
I have a brother that's 2 years older than me, but he was only a year older than me in school, and we didn't know what he was taking us to, and so we went in there and was like, "What are we here for? Are we doing swimming lessons or what?" And he said, "No, we're going to sign you up for football," and I was kind of like, "All right." I kind of like the sound of this. And so he's like, you get to hit, you get to, if you're good enough, you can run the ball, you can do all sorts of stuff. And really up to that point, we played just a little bit of soccer as we were younger. So, but other than that, that's my first hit, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my goodness. Like I get to hit someone as hard as I possibly can
legally,
and not get in trouble. Right. Cause I would do that to my brother or sister and I'd always get in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
So, but that's when it was a love at first hit type of a sport for me.
That's good. That's a good way to put it. Love at first hit.
Yeah.
Now, as you were growing up, did you ever dream about playing college ball or next NFL or anything like that?
Well, I think all of us, when we first put that ball in our hands as a kid, is the first thing you think about is the NFL, and you pick your favorite teams. And I ran the ball a little bit, and so my favorite player when I first started playing was John Riggins. Big white running back for the Washington Redskins, mowing everybody over, just about as mean as can be, right? And I felt like that was my MO too, and that's what I wanted to do. So, really never thought about the road to getting there, right? Like you had to go through college to go to pro, but I knew that my aspirations that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to go play some ball.
Okay. Now, tell me about your siblings. I know you said you would hit them a couple times to get in trouble, but tell me about how many siblings you have.
I'm the youngest of 3.
Youngest of 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're all 2 years apart.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I turned 50 this year, which is crazy. Right?
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I turned 50, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And so my brother's already 52, and my sister's 54.
Okay.
So we're all 2 years apart.
Gotcha. Now, were they athletes as well?
Growing up, yeah, we all played sports.
Yeah.
My sister was big into softball. She loved playing softball. My brother was big into soccer and also played football up until his freshman year when he didn't grow quite like I did. Right. I was the big little brother. I grew to the 6'2", 240, and he stayed at that 5'8", 115 range as he graduated. Yeah, so we look like Abbott and Costello, but but he broke his collarbone his freshman year, and so he stopped playing football. Still continued to play soccer, but sports was always a part of our family growing up. That's for sure.
Gotcha. So when you got to Mustang High School, was Mustang a powerhouse when you got there?
Yeah. So they were. Charlie Carpenter was the head coach, which he ended up retiring my last year. But the game of the year, it seemed like every year was us, the Midwest City, right?
Okay.
Kel Gundy.
Yeah.
Against we had Rowdy Anthony, I think, at the time, which the guy could throw the ball, man. He was a really good quarterback. And then we had a few years after that. Once growing up, we were a big deal. Once I kind of got into high school, and I don't know whether it was me or whatever the case is, or the talent just kind of fell off. But we never made the playoffs when I was in high school. Yeah, we missed it. We missed it my sophomore year. Of course, I played freshman ball. Missed it my sophomore year. Just barely missed it again my junior year, and then my senior year we went 2-8. So we weren't sniffing playoffs.
Man,
but we sure did have fun though.
So now your season wasn't good. I guess you were probably one of the only few that got accolades on anything. Getting accolades in your junior year, or was it just all senior year?
I think I probably just got some honorable mentions my junior year.
Okay.
But Coach Carpenter was a great coach, great man. Loved the guy to death, but he wasn't one to go out and brag on his players.
I got you.
He was one of those coaches that he said, if you want to know how good any one of my players is, go ask who we play.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
Right. So he's never gonna he's got your back, right? But he's not going to go out and advocate for you, outside of what you're already doing on the field. So it was interesting because you remember back in the day when they had they used to do the top 10 players in Oklahoma back when we were in high school. Do you remember that?
Well, no, I actually don't.
No.
I guess because I wasn't top 10.
Yeah, I missed out on that too.
Okay.
And the whole reason why is because they came up to the coach and it's like, hey, what do you think? We think he needs to be in the top 10. He's like, you need to ask other coaches, not me. And the next thing I know, they did that top 10. I'm like, well, I guess that answered the question. Oh, well, it is what it is, right?
Well, now, I did see an article. There was an article in the Oklahoman that talked about high schools and the top positions, top players coming out. Like, so say, for instance, John Marshall was the best school for wide receivers.
Right.
So myself, Willie Grissom, one of my teammates, and then Michael McDaniel, and then you had Tony Newsom, and then like several guys came out of John Marshall. Mm-hmm. That was probably about the only thing that I've seen as far as like top 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Besides All-State and All-City and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of neat because they came out with the top 10 players every year.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's either James Allen or Terrell Peters that was like number one.
Yeah, they always that was some good dudes.
Yeah, they were good players, good friends of mine. So they're great people.
Yeah, they both was it Winniewood and Norman?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They both tore it up.
You can argue who the better running back was that year. I don't know. I didn't get to tackle James, but I had to try. I tackled Terrell plenty enough times.
Now he was a linebacker.
Yeah, I ended up going to OU playing linebacker.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're talking a 6'2", 230-pound, 4'4" running back in high school. It's like crazy. You don't find those very often.
Yeah.
And James wasn't that big. I mean, James was a great player. I mean, he played 2A ball, which is down there, it's a little bit, it's different ball.
It's different, yeah.
It really is. But he tore it up, man. And he did really well at OU. And I thought his career really blossomed in Chicago when he went to Chicago.
Yeah. How long did he play with Chicago? Did you remember?
Great question. I don't know. Don't catch me lying.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he was there 4 or 5 years probably. Yeah. So.
And you said you're pretty close with those guys?
Yeah, we played in all the All-Star games.
Did you?
Right?
Okay.
So we played in the Oil Bowl, which you did that too, and the All-State games, and and you did all the film shoots, and you always hung out and got to do all that kind of stuff.
There was I forgot, John Fitzgerald,
you
hear that name?
Yep.
He found an old recording of us doing our interviews with the old news people, and I'm like, my name is Sean Love, and I play wide receiver. So it is funny to see all that stuff.
Yeah,
but,
all of us with all that personality back in the day, right?
Yeah, we were great. Yeah, we were great.
We were just finding ourselves. That's all it was.
So you played in the Oil Bowl.
Yep.
All-State. So who were some of your teammates in the Oil Bowl besides James?
Yeah,
Allen,
James, Terrell, Mandrell Dean.
Oh boy, that's a name.
Yeah. Brian Andrews.
Okay.
But I mean, we felt like we had a really good team. I think they kind of took it to us a little bit. But, it was just fun to get out there. You spend a lot of time with those guys.
Yeah.
But it was we had a really fun time. It was hot. Golly, I remember it was really, really hot.
Yes.
I remember a few things. I remember the Texas State 100-meter champion came out there.
Oh, really?
I guess some of the guys knew him, and he came over from the Texas team or whatever, and he's over there just talking smack. And Mandrell just looks at him and says, "I'll outrun you and any time of the day you want to run."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, how about right now?" Mandrell was like, "All right,
let's go."
Man, blew his wheels off, and I was like,
can go. Yeah.
Golly, man, you can run.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's probably one of the best athletes that ever came out of Oklahoma.
I agree.
I mean, he was something else.
Yeah. He just kept. He's one of those guys that just kind of tripped over himself.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, had all the talent in the world, could do whatever he wanted to do.
Anything. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this story, but they ended up telling me that they did the Dennis Byrd movie.
Okay.
Right. And they did it at Mustang, and they were doing auditions, and apparently, my understanding is he showed up and he was like in a suit.
Okay.
He's like, I want to be in this. I want to be in the movie.
Okay.
And the guy was like, sorry, man, casting's over. And he goes, well, what do I got to do to get in this movie? And he's like, I don't know. He goes, what makes you special? He goes, man, I'll run a 4.4 right now in this suit.
In this suit.
And the guy was like, if you run a 4.4 right now in this suit, I'll put you in the movie. I think he made it the movie. I really did. I think he did because they said that he ended up running a 4.4 in a suit.
I believe it.
Just cold.
I believe
right?
it. I believe it.
I
man.
mean, that's the kind of talent that guy had. I mean, he could fly and he can catch. It's just,
and he could play basketball. Did you see him play basketball?
Yeah, he could jump out of the gym.
He broke I think it was 8th grade. He broke a rim, like shattered the backboard. I think it was 8th grade. I think that's what they told me. But I remember playing against him in basketball a little bit. A few guys from my team was Justin Fuentes.
Yeah.
R.W. McQuarters, of course, and then some guys that went to OU, Cedric Jones and Kelly Gregg.
Yeah.
Play with Kelly and of course John Fitzgerald. But yeah, good times, good bonds.
I tell you what, you understand, like you don't you play against these guys,
yes,
and they're always like, I hate them. And now there was 3 guys from UConn, right? That all stayed the same year as I did.
Okay.
And of course, the Mustang UConn rivalry.
Yeah, that's always
hated them.
That's
all I wanted to do is kill those guys when I played against them. And man, a few of those guys, Jason and Jody, I mean, they became really, really good friends, and the guys I would hang out with all the time.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, Jody just passed away of cancer, so he ended up battling it and thought he beat it, and ended up just passing away in the last couple of months from it. So
sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. He was a great dude, great family man.
But initially, he was a rival that you just wanted to beat.
He was a rival. Yes, he was.
Okay. So back in high school, who was your biggest motivator? Like a coach or teacher or parent or anything like that?
Well,
biggest motivator.
So my freshman year, there was one of our freshmen. Or actually, it's my sophomore year. One of our freshman coaches, his name was Coach Lewis. He really took me underneath his wing. Okay. For some reason, you would think that like a program like Mustang would have an off-season program, right?
Right.
We didn't.
Okay.
We didn't. Maybe that's the reason why we went, 6 and 5, and 5 and 4 and 6, and then 2 and 8. But we didn't have an off-season program, and so this was a coach that just, I guess, saw some potential, and he just said, "Hey, I want to take you in. Let's start working out. I'll be your workout buddy. I want to keep you motivated." And I said, "Okay, cool." So from my sophomore, junior, and senior year. During the summer, he would pick me up twice a day. He'd pick me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Didn't matter what I was doing. He would be knocking on my window to make sure I was up and getting out of there. And then he'd pick me up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. And
man, I'll tell you what, he was a great guy to be around. He was fun to be around. He was a little pistol himself. So I mean, I squatted 600 pounds in high school, and he wasn't far off of what I was squatting on a daily basis. And so he really motivated me. He knew how competitive I was, and so it's like, I'm always going to beat you. And so he would always push himself to push me. And man, I'll tell you what, to this day, that guy, I mean, I owe my success in football in high school to him. Because he's the one that took the initiative to put me where I needed to be and put me in the spot where I'm going to succeed. Because, man, every year I gained 20 pounds every summer. I came in at 180, then I got to 200, then 220. Then my senior year I came in at 240. And man, it wasn't, I mean, I could still run. I kept getting faster and faster and faster. So it was good weight. Wasn't bad weight.
You know how to carry it.
Yeah. Yep.
As you're getting towards your senior year, how was recruiting for you? Like, who were some of the schools that showed interest, gave you offers, things like that?
Yeah, so
I know you had to send out VHS tapes.
You did. You did. That's funny.
Yeah,
you joked, but it was.
As
a matter of fact, I was talking about that yesterday. I was like, "You guys ever want to see my high school film? I think I got some VHS tapes at home."
Yeah, we can rewind it. It'll take all day.
Well, you remember you had the whole deal. Yeah, you go back and forth. Yeah. So I was getting talked to by the big schools, the Tulsa, Oklahoma States, and OUs, but I had a really, really good camp. I only went to one camp in high school. I went to OU's camp in high school. Okay. And I was an OU fan. I thought this is where I wanted to go, and this is where I wanted to be, and I did really well. And it was pretty shortly after that, after the season, or towards the end of the season, where Merv Johnson came in and said, "Hey, you know what? Totally impressed with your attitude, love your work ethic, everything's great. Our Coach Gibbs doesn't think you're going to get any bigger, so we're going to stop recruiting you."
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, well. And I told him, and Merv's awesome man.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. And I just told him, I said, Coach, I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, I'm going to go to a school in the same conference. And I promise you I'm going to beat you every year.
Yeah.
Right?
You told him that.
That's what I told him. I told him face to face. He goes, I love your honesty. I love your fire. This is the reason why I want you. It's just not my choice.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So OSU kind of, I was talking with them in Tulsa, but they wouldn't offer. They wouldn't offer right away.
Okay.
And that's what was crazy. So I didn't know what was going on. And I told them, I was like, whoever offers, I'm going to, because I want to stay in state.
Yeah.
I want to play here in front of my family.
Yeah.
But they drug their feet. Ended up getting interest from, all the Texas schools, Texas Tech, Texas.
Okay.
I mean, they would call and talk to me, and if for one reason or another, if I just didn't feel the vibe, Michigan, I talked to those guys, and if I just didn't feel the vibe on my end, it just felt like that it wasn't right, then I'm just like, I'm good. I'd be very adamant of saying, hey, I want to stay in state, right, or stay in the conference, the Big 8 at the time. And so, but my recruiting trips, I actually went to Southwest Missouri State.
Okay.
Right? It was Coach Branch.
Okay,
I love their defensive line coach.
Okay.
Rick Johnson. Was he the Broken Arrow coach for a while?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, I think I can't remember his last name. He's the one that recruited me. But
at Southwestern Missouri State?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's their defensive line coach that would he'd call me every night. It was fun. So that was my first visit. I went out to New Mexico when Dennis Francione was out there.
Funny story. Southwestern Missouri State. That was so we played them. I forgot. I think it's my freshman year.
Yeah.
They came to Stillwater.
Yeah.
And played us. We were the first overtime game, whatever it was called, but it was the first overtime game in NCAA D1 history or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's just a fun fact. But you can look it up. But it was weird. It was against them.
Yeah, OSU D1. Then at that time, Southwest Missouri State was like a 1AA.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So that's like the
non-conference.
mid conferences nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
So that was. But yeah. Okay, back to you. New Mexico.
No, I went to New Mexico with Dennis Francione. Met with him. A face-to-face visit. Man, I just knew that wasn't the place for me.
Okay.
And then I went to OSU.
Okay.
They finally came in and said, "Hey, we want to bring you up," and that was kind of a cool visit.
You talked to Pat Jones, or
I did. But
Tim Reynolds.
Reynolds was recruiting me.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Reynolds was recruiting me, but so my recruiting trip up there, I went up on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Right, which was kind of how that goes. It's unorthodox. It's usually Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday,
yeah.
And so, but they said we want you to come up Wednesday, or they wanted me to come up. I said, well, this last weekend, which was the last weekend before you had to make a decision, that weekend I was going to Nebraska because they came in, and kind of back up a little bit. Tulsa ended up offering too. I had Rader and Butler in my house the week before that, and I told them that. I'm going to cancel my trip with them because I've been on their campus and I was going to go to Nebraska. And so, but anyway, I took my recruiting trip to Stillwater on that Wednesday. They flew me up from Oklahoma City. It was the craziest thing. Oh yeah.
Like what?
So
I guess they wanted to.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to drive up to Stillwater.
The red carpet.
Yeah. And Reynolds was like, no, you're going to meet our pilot at Will Rogers.
Okay.
I'm like, what? It's like it's literally like 45 minutes to an hour away drive. And he's like, yeah, I just want you to go ahead and do that. I was like, okay. And so jumped on the plane. It was really kind of cool. I got up. They had me in the cockpit, and the pilot was just like, hey, man, do whatever you want, just as long as you keep us going that way.
so you like one of those little crop planes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. First plane I ever was in for my life, and I flew it. That's my claim to fame. Man. I flew the first plane I was ever in.
I've never flown. Yeah, go ahead. Man.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so ended up going up there. Had a really good visit. Had some buddies that played there. Jacob Kravonik. He was a Mustang kid. He went up there and. So
I would have committed in the plane.
What's that?
I would have committed in the plane. I'm coming over you. Okay.
Yeah. Just point it down and say you either commit now or you. Yeah. No. But so I went in and met with Coach Jones and. Man, I'll tell you what, that dude's a fire plug.
Yes, he is.
He was a fire plug. He came in with his butterfly collar and bell-bottom pants and cowboy boots. And
Come on,
I was
now, here. This is what we're gonna do, man. Yeah.
And I was just looking at him like, this is awesome. But I told him, I was like, look, I want to take my one last visit.
Yeah.
Right. And so They ended up driving me back on a Friday, and I was catching my flight. Tim did on Friday.
Yeah.
Almost missed my flight.
Dang.
Right, because I had to go straight to the airport.
Yeah.
But anyway, ended up going to Nebraska, and man, I just, with Osborne, I did have family that lived in Lincoln as well, which was a big contributor.
Yeah.
I felt like it was the place for me, and
I never got to meet Coach Osborne. I mean, I'm saw him from sideline to sideline, but never got to meet him in person. But they were recruiting me, but never got to really meet him.
Really wonderful man.
Yeah.
So the first time I got to talk to him, it was really kind of cool. When you say VHS tapes, and this is what's funny about it is, we're at the I call it the Oklahoma All-State Banquet. Okay. They also gave out the Outland Trophy and the Jim Thorpe Award, right? I mean, that was kind of secondary to all of us being there. Right. But anyway, they're giving it out to Will Shields that year. He won the Outland Trophy. And so all the Nebraska coaches were there, and I was just sitting there hanging out with my folks and just talking to them. And next thing I know, Coach Tenniper, which was the offensive line coach who recruited Oklahoma, that, he came over and just introduced himself. He's like, "Hey, Coach Tenniper, University of Nebraska. We know about you. We like how you play. We thought you were going to an in-state school. After talking to all these coaches, found out that you're not committed anywhere yet. So we want to throw our name into the hat, for an offer." And I said, "Okay." And they said, "Well, the one thing we do want to get though is we want to just get a couple games, right? And we want to watch it." And so
VHS.
They ended up overnighting VHS tapes, right?
Yeah.
That night. And I ended up getting a phone call the next day from Coach Osborne offering, telling me, "Hey, we want you to come look at the campus. We want to offer you a scholarship. We think you'd be a good fit." So it was kind of a neat deal. I mean, it was unorthodox the way they came in, and
they just wanted to ask. No, not yet.
That was in 93. 93 we played Florida State, and 92, it was either Miami or Florida State. We played them a few times. That Florida State, Miami, those teams in the day they're always
ridiculous.
Up there.
Miami,
you're going through one of those teams to win a national championship every year. So so they were good. I remember the only time I actually got to watch Nebraska play before I started talking to the coaches was
probably it's the OU maybe
OU game. OU Nebraska. And it was crazy because I had Cale Gundy's mom sitting in front of me. I had Kenya Rashid's mom sitting behind me, so I was sitting in that section, and Cale wasn't having a good game, and Kenya was letting Cale's mom know all about it. And
right. Yeah.
and it was just awkward. Me and my dad were just kind of like
sitting in the middle of it.
We need to move. We need to go find another seat. And I get it. I mean, people get emotional during games. I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Absolutely. So you hurt you tore your ACL in the All-State game?
Yep.
Okay. And so I saw where you had a delayed, what is it called? Delayed enrollment.
Yeah.
Like you said you waited. Now explain it to me again. How did it happen?
So I was in the game, and I remember it was David Thompson.
Yeah.
You know him. Yeah. Which I thought, man, that dude was in that talk for the best running back in the state.
Yeah. Period.
And great dude also. I love David. David was an awesome dude. But they sent him out on a pitch, and man, I got by the center and the guard, and I was just like, I was from me to you.
Now you're playing defense.
I was playing defense.
Okay.
I was playing nose guard.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was from me to you, and I had the inside out.
Okay.
And he knew that I had him because he was running out of real estate.
Yeah.
And he ended up cutting back.
Ooh, yeah.
And when I tried to cut back, snapped my knee. And
his knee stayed together. Yours fell apart.
Yeah, I think he may still be running. I don't.
Your knee is over there. His knee is with him. Yeah.
I don't even think I made the tackle, but but I just know that's when I blew out my knee. Second quarter, thought I could go back in, and I was up sprinting and running on it 5 minutes after I did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to go back in, and my dad was like, yeah, probably not a good idea. You got to go to Lincoln in the next couple of days, and so you probably better just sit on it.
Okay. So how did you tell the coaches You said you declined the offer, or how did you push it off?
Yeah, so I went in when I reported. I came in. I called the coaches right after the game, the next day after the game, and said, "Hey, Coach Denver," I said, "Hey, hurt my knee in the game. Don't know the extent of it. It's pretty swollen." He said, "Don't let anybody touch you."
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, okay. And so I ended up going up there 3-4 days later, and their doctors looked at it and said, "Yeah, he's a torn ACL." Okay. So I ended up doing an MRI and made sure it was a torn ACL and seen what other damage was on the knee, and so they came in, and man, I'll tell you, it was a very surreal feeling, right? And the reason why I say that is because, Coach came in, he's like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do."
Okay.
He said.
Which coach was this?
This was Tenniper.
Okay, Tenniper.
This was Tenniper, yeah. And Osborne, I think, was probably in the room too. He goes, "This is what we're going to do." He said, "We're going to take your scholarship. You're going to refuse your scholarship, even though you signed a letter of intent, did all that kind of stuff, and signed the paperwork." He goes, "But you're going to refuse it this semester."
Okay.
And I said, "Okay." I said, "So what happens next?" And he goes, "You'll re-sign. We'll have people come off scholarship in January, right, or in December, and then we'll have your scholarship ready for you January 1st." And I was, and of course, I'm just sitting there going, "Am I getting?
Stop playing with me."
Yeah.
Man.
Is this really going to happen? Right? Is this really going to happen?
Yeah.
But I trusted him, and I'm glad I did, because I ended up having my ACL surgery up there.
Okay.
Their team doctor did it. And they were able to find me some housing and places to stay, so I could get my rehab in and stay up there and do the rehab with their staff and stuff like that. And so I ended up signing in January, and so it was kind of it was good. Yeah. It was a great opportunity, because I got to come in during the spring. I got all of spring ball to get used to and learn and know what I'm going to play, right? That ended up being that. Yeah. And the freshmen that came in the fall, man, I had a huge leg up on. I mean, they were still trying to learn just their way around, and I knew everything at that point, right? And I was ready to go, and I played against all the best guys that were on the team, and already kind of knew the speed, and so it really did help me out as far as seeing the field early in my career.
Gotcha. There was a Kareem Sears.
Yeah.
Kareem, so he was, I think he was same age as myself, but he came in, did he come in 95?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I saw him at a track meet not too long ago.
He's up in Enid right now, right?
Yeah. He's been there for a while.
He has been.
Yeah, but I think he's the only player that I actually knew went to Nebraska. Yeah.
Well, there wasn't many. It's, I was the fifth or sixth, probably sixth player ever from Oklahoma to go to Nebraska.
Yeah, it's not too many.
No. I mean, you had I know before
Mike Minter.
You had Mike, you had Will.
Well,
right? Both those guys. You had Ben Ruetz.
Okay,
that played at PC West.
Okay.
You had his last name was Brown, played for Edmond, and I can't think of his his first name. And Jason.
Was it Willie Brown?
Willie Brown.
Willis Brown.
Yeah, Willis Brown.
Yeah.
And then Jason Pesterfield.
I didn't know he went to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. He ended up leaving. He ended up going up there, I think, for a redshirt year, and then ended up leaving. So, but so did Ben. Ben did the same thing. He came up there for a redshirt year.
Gotcha.
Then he ended up going to NEO and then going to Kansas.
Okay.
Jason Pesterfield, he was from Pauls Valley.
Okay.
He was 3 years older than me.
I don't remember that name. I don't remember that.
Big red-haired guy. Awesome dude. But so he was there, and so and before that, you didn't go.
No.
You stay.
Especially if you were with a
OU fan.
Yeah.
I mean, OU or OSU did not let you out of the state if you were a player. So all of us kind of slipped out a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I was going to go to Colorado.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's when Eric Bieniemy and Cordell Stewart they were all great.
Yep.
So I was going to go play there.
Yep.
And then Coach Simmons came from assistant coach at Colorado to Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Talked to him. Tim Reynolds came and recruited me and all that stuff. And I mean, Pat Jones were recruiting me before, but the Colorado, they would come to John Marshall. I mean, they would come to the school.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, these dudes like me. Right?
Yeah.
So
and
but he came to Ohio State, and the rest is history.
Did you ever have so Mustang High School back when I was there? And it's a metropolis now. It looks like a college university, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, our central office we had our office area, and then you had this glass to go into the hallways where all the other classes were, right? So you had this glass. And so I would get called up out of class my junior and senior year. And all it was, they'd say, hey, go over and stand at the glass.
Yeah,
and I remember the first time I did that, I'm like, what? Stand at the glass? Like, just go stand at the glass.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Right,
Don't, just stand at the glass.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So I'd walk over there, stand at the glass, and sure enough, here comes some coaches. They'd walk out. They're just looking at you
like you're a piece of meat.
Yeah, yeah. You're looking, and you're just kind of like, what do I do, right? I mean, and you just stand there, and they're like,
all right,
and you turn around and you go right back to class. And that happened. That happened about 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
You come out and you just. Did that ever happen?
A few times, not as many as that.
I
but
was about to say, I was like, it was.
We've had coaches come and just check us out and set us up, and but yeah, similar.
It's just like cattle moving through, right? There you go, number 47.
Man, that sounded like you were in a police lineup. Man.
Yeah.
Just stand behind the glass, turn to the left, turn right.
Turn to the left, take off your shirt.
So you became active. Now, did you hurt your knee again? After?
So no, I didn't hurt my knee. It was my college career was pretty injury riddled.
Okay.
I had my knee. Ended up healing up, and so I played my whole redshirt year. Obviously, getting my butt kicked every day in practice, right? And then my redshirt freshman year, had a really good redshirt freshman. I actually played 9 games my redshirt freshman year, which was really kind of cool. And I got a lot of snaps. But at the end of the season, I ended up having some shoulder problems. And so they end up having to go in and do what they call a distal clavicle, which is basically take off the end of your collarbone because it's sticking in your AC joint. So they lopped that off. And then my junior year, I was testing, or before going to my junior year, going to spring ball my junior year, I was running a pro agility. And went and cut on that pro agility, and my foot just snapped and broke.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And so I still have a screw in my right foot to this day for that. And then before my senior year, like in '97 when we won the championship, I had a bulging disc against my spinal cord that I played half the season with.
How'd you do that? God. I mean, did you know?
Yeah. I had to take a theater class in college, right? And so, when you take you didn't act, but you had to work on the set. And so, and you always had to go and watch the plays that you did anyway. So I remember the time I'm just sitting there and I'm watching this play, and next thing you know, I start getting this really bad pain in my ribs, like that night. I mean, I haven't really felt it. I was like, golly, man, that hurts. And I really didn't think anything about it. And of course, I wasn't going to tell anybody I was hurt. Yeah. Right. I mean, I'm just going to play with it as long as I possibly can. And finally, it got to the point where I couldn't even stand straight up. Wow. Like the most comfortable position I could be in was down in my center position, snapping the ball. Yeah. And so finally they noticed that when I was out of practice, like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, well, I don't know. I think something's wrong with my ribs. That's what I thought it was. It's like, I think something's wrong. I think I must have taken a shot. Something's wrong with my ribs, because that's where I was feeling the pain. Felt like someone was just jabbing a knife in my ribs all the time. And so I went in. They did an MRI. They found out what it was, and they said, it's not going to get any worse. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's as bad as it's going to get. You're not going to risk being paralyzed or anything like that. So you know what? If you want to finish the season and we'll deal with it at the end of the season, do it. And I was like, perfect. Perfect. I'm fine with that.
Now it's on you tolerating the pain.
Right. And there wasn't a bench I didn't pass up on the campus when I was going to class, because I had to sit there. This is bad. Oh man. But yeah, we ended up playing for the national championship in '97 against Tennessee. And man, I celebrated hunched over. Yeah. I mean, I'd go sit on the bench and then I'd stand up and oh my gosh, and had to.
Man, I could imagine that. Golly. Yeah. But you still played. You said the most comfortable. I mean, was blocking hard?
No.
I mean,
as long as I was in that kind of that position where I could take all the pressure off my back. Yeah. Because it wasn't in the lower part of my back. I ended up having that's what they call a partial laminectomy, where they take off part of your disc that was against the spinal cord, but it was in my thoracic region, so it was in the middle part of my back. Wasn't in the lower, wasn't in the top. It was right there in the middle. And so that's the reason why I was getting all the pain in my ribs.
I need to go to a Holiday Inn Express so I can wake up a doctor and know all the terms that they're using. Would you say a thoracic area? What did you say? But no, keep
lumbar.
Going. Lumbar, yeah.
Yeah, and work your way up.
Sciatic nerves and all that.
Yeah. But I ended up my oldest daughter, I ended up having another back surgery. Mm-hmm. She's 16 years ago, and I had a multi-disc replacement surgery in my lower back. Okay. So I ended up throwing my back out carrying my oldest kid.
Oh, okay.
And man, they went in and take out 2 discs and put 2 artificial discs in my back, and I've never had a problem since.
Dude, you're good now.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, when you get to Nebraska, when you're actually playing now and getting some reps and contributing now, because your redshirt year is when the first national championship.
Yep, 94.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the following year, did you win the national championship that year y'all played us? 95, 96?
Yeah.
95?
So 94 we won it.
Yeah.
In 94, I redshirted 94. 95 was the year we played you. So that was like, remember, that was like the best college football team ever in 95. That was that team.
We started,
Yeah. And so, that was that
y'all
team.
won it that year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was when we played Florida.
Okay.
Danny Warfel, all those. They had 3 All-American wide receivers.
I can't remember the names, but yeah.
Yeah. They were good. They were good, and I just remember that was a sweet game. I'm just going to tell you, that was fun because.
Tell me about it.
So we're in Tempe, so we're playing out there, and we go and we're going to the stadium for the game, and our buses pull up. And I think it had to be their freshman, their red shirt, or whatever the case is. And they lined our bus as we were coming off the bus and was just talking as much smack as possible as they could, telling us that we're not Gator, we're Gator bait.
So they're standing outside?
Yeah.
Just talking?
Oh, yeah. They're lining the sidewalk for the bus as we're going in, just screaming and hooting and hollering and telling us we're not Gator, they're Gator bait and all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of like we're sitting there going, okay. All right, just keep talking.
We'll see.
You got to play the game, right? That's it. You got to play the game, and so, that we all know what happened on that one. That was.
Well, y'all got them, man. Y'all got them. Now, tell me what the culture was like in the locker room, as far as like, I know it was a lot different than being in Mustang, but just tell me about the culture, the standard at Nebraska.
Well, we set the standard.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
we didn't want to play to anybody else's standard other than ours, and we set those standards before the season ever started. Right. It was really kind of cool. I mean, when we lost the championship in '93 to Florida State, we came out with an unfinished business mentality, and we put it on everything. It was on shirts. It was in our locker room. It was in our meeting room. It was everywhere. It was unfinished business. So that was just the standard that we weren't going to fall short again, right? We were going to do whatever it took in order to make that happen. We got so close. We still had the same team, same players for the most part, maybe even a better team coming into it, and we were ready to play. But it was just it was a have fun. But it was business, right? It was business, and what we're running a little youth camp in Newcastle right now, and so it's one of the things I told the players yesterday on their padded youth camp was it's good to hold each other accountable, but you need to edify each other. You need to build each other up. Coaches are the ones that are supposed to be hard on you.
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to be building each other up, and that's the way we were. I mean, it was truly competitive. There were fist fights and you name it going on just because of the competition that was out there, right? It was always intense, but at the end of the day, we knew that once we took it off the field, it was done.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it was done. You didn't say another word about anything else that happened out there at practice, no matter how cheap, ugly, dirty, whatever it was. Yeah. And you just kind of you ate it and you went on and
leave it on the field.
Yeah, we were a team, man. Yeah. We were a team.
Yeah,
so that was probably the biggest thing is no one was out there for themselves.
Right.
Everybody, right. And Osborne always did something really cool because we would come in to camp, and of course we're in the big old meeting room, and he goes, look at the guy on your left and on your right, and so you look at the guy on your left and right, and it's like, you tell those two guys that you're playing for them this season. And the reason why he had that doctorate in sports psychology.
Okay.
He taught it at the university.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's the reason I call him Dr. Tom, right?
Okay.
And he would have us, say that to the people next to us. He goes, and the reason why, he goes, you will have zero problems failing yourself, but you'll break your neck to not fail for this guy, for your teammate.
Yeah.
And it was the truth. And he instilled that into us every single day.
Okay.
In meetings and practice, just in life, period. That it was, you're playing for the greater purpose.
That's a good life lesson too. Just to have a family.
Yeah.
I look to my left, my wife, look to my right, my kids. Right, left.
Yeah.
But you have them on like, this is who you're playing for.
Yep.
Every day. And so that's good, Dr. Tom. I like that.
Yeah. The best players are humble but confident.
Yes.
It's usually the way it goes.
Yep. So when you had those 3 national championships under your belt, what type of how does that make you feel? I've never won a national championship. I won a state championship, but not.
Yeah.
But what went through your mind when you after the last one you won?
Well, it's the last one's probably, in my opinion, the most important one to me, just because I was a starter for that one. Right?
Okay.
I played in '95, didn't play in '94, but I guarantee you, I contribute just as much at those other ones
absolutely.
that I did in the one. It's just, I got to be on the field. I got to take the snaps. I got the result was from my effort. And so that was probably the greatest one to me, even though I couldn't stand up during it. But
how'd you stand in the huddle? I'm just thinking about how did you stand in the huddle? Just
hands on my knees. I just had my hands on my knees, and that's all I would. And I'd run up there and do that.
That's crazy. I'm going to go back and watch film.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll tell you. I promise you it's there.
Man, no.
What's crazy is at the time it's an awesome feeling. Mm-hmm. You're the top of the world, man. Mm-hmm. But once you start winning those, that expectation is always there.
Yeah, always.
Right? And then we expected to win it again in 95, right? We won it in 94, had another great team coming up in 95, and then 96, we thought the same thing. Yeah. That was when Frost came in, right, in 96, and we ended up losing the game early to Arizona State.
Okay.
We beat them we were beating them 63-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
The year before.
Okay.
And that was when they had like Jake the Snake, Plummer at quarterback and all those guys. But then we go to their house the next year, and I promise you, they had to have been piping crowd noise over the intercom.
Oh man.
It's the loudest place I've ever been in my life. Been in my life. Like I could sit right here and talk to a person right here and scream at the top of my lungs, and they couldn't hear a word I was saying. You had to read lips.
Had to do sign language. Hey.
But then, it was just kind of you let all the air out of the balloon, right? But then we get towards the end of the season, it's just like we built our confidence back up, and we come into the first Big 12 championship game against Texas that year, right? In the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, and then we just kind of got deflated again. We end up losing to Texas in that first Big 12 championship game, and but it was just a standard that we set for that we are a championship caliber team, and we are going to play like a champ. We're going to prepare. We're going to do everything we can as a championship style team, and so that was our demeanor. That's what we did. That's what you woke up every morning. I hate to say it like Ricky Bobby, but you know what he says. He wakes up in peace excellence, right? And that's what we felt like back in the day. We did it all together. So, but that was our standard.
Man. So who, during your time there, would you consider one of the craziest or wildest characters on your squad?
I would 100% say Christian Peter.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
He was something else too. Boy.
Yeah, that dude was crazy. Crazy. And you just got to know the guy. I went against him every day in practice. We would just go at it. And it's funny. We're going. I remember one day I was running scout team, and I think I end up pancaking him on a block, like a turn back block, a counter block, or something like that. And I pancaked him, and he stood up and just started to wail on me. Well, I was like, my instinct was I'm just going to start wailing back, right? And I tried to do whatever I could. Couldn't do much, right? He's just big old.
How tall was he?
He's about 6'3", but he was, he was 320, 310, 320, just monster. He was a monster. And like, he's a guy that never played his senior year of football and still got a full ride to the University of Nebraska.
Wow. Dang.
Right? Ended up going like a prep school and never played football like his senior year. Anyway.
That's crazy.
But he, I just remember, and he was MFing me, and I'm going to kill you, and I'm just sitting there.
Because you pancaked him.
Oh, yeah. And next thing you know, our defensive coordinator, Coach McBride, gets up and goes, "You guys are out of here. Go to the locker room." Mm. And I'm just like, no.
So
like, I knew I was safe out here, right? I knew I was safe out here.
Coach, I'm going to sit out here.
Yeah, but you're sending me to the locker room with a guy that is so mad at me right now that I think is just, and he's telling me he's going to kill me and all this kind of stuff. And you know how that goes on the field. And so I'm walking, like almost sprinting to the locker room as fast as I could, and he's walking, and I get all my stuff off, and I was going to forego a shower, right? I just wanted to get out of there.
Get out alive.
And here he comes walking into the locker room, and I'm just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. And he comes over to me, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, hey, man. And he goes, "Great job, dude. We got out of practice." I was just like, I mean, I've never breathed a bigger sigh of relief before in my life, because I was like, this is about to go down. No one's going to stop. No one's here.
Right.
There's no one in the building, right, to stop anything. So the guy could do whatever he wanted to do to me. But, he was crazy, man. He spearheaded all of the defensive line traditions of celebrating birthdays, whether it was spitting loogies on your belly or, spreading whatever body fluids they did on each other. I mean, the dude was just crazy. Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to mess with him because you knew he had a screw loose in his head.
Yeah, I bet. It sounds like it.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, you kind of get him aside and get him away from all that stuff. And man, he's a good guy. As a matter of fact, what's funny is we come back for our 10-year reunion for our 94 championship. I think it was almost 20 years ago. Okay. And
do that 3 times, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. We got one this year, I think. They haven't sent anything out, but I think we do. Yeah. But he met me. He came over to me. He was like, "Heskew." I'm like, yeah. And he's from Jersey, so he's that Jersey accent, right? He's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I'm sorry for all the crap I put you through," and all this kind of, and literally, like, Brooke's standing right there too, and we're sitting in this bar talking to him. He just starts crying.
Oh, really?
Like, he's like, "Man, I'm so sorry for what I did to you guys." And I was like, "Is this like some type of therapy for you?" Right?
Yeah.
I was like, "You go through like a 12-step program, and you're just saying you're sorry to everybody?" But no, he wasn't. He was just that type of guy. I mean, he was just very intense. Yeah. Would just kind of wear his emotions on his sleeve. Most of the time, it wasn't very good. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, he was a really good player and a good guy. Good teammate to have.
Man, yeah, I bet. I'd take him in a street fight with me.
All day long.
If you guys could have played today's teams with the modern media and NIL, how different would it have been, do you think? Who would be getting the multi-million-dollar deal?
Well, Tommy would.
Yeah.
I think Tommy's still getting paid for a Tommy Frazier experience, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's still doing that. I think Lawrence Phillips would be. I think our offensive line would probably be the most underpaid group out there, because everybody was humble and really, I mean, none of us were like 4-star. I mean, they didn't have stars back then, but I mean, none of us were like superstars coming out of high school, at least offensive line wise. I mean, a lot of them were just local kids. That just wanted to play. They just wanted to play and contribute to the team. But man, it would probably be guys like $1 million guys, Grant Winstrom, Jason Peter. Those guys came back for their senior year.
Okay.
Right? I mean, they were first-round draft picks their junior year, and they ended up coming back for their senior year. Yeah. Golly, there's just a bunch of good players. I couldn't imagine NIL back then, right? I mean, Of course.
I just want to get paid for being on NCAA football.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my check. I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Game breakers.
Yeah.
You remember that back in the day? Game
yeah.
breakers. I told, they were talking about the 26 that came out, and I was like, hey, you want to know a cool fact? They're like, what? I was like, that's a game breaker.
Yeah. I was like,
in 1998, I was an NCAA game breaker.
Yeah,
And they're like, I'm like, man, it is what it is.
we got to show it to you. Now, we look like blocks.
Yeah.
And we don't look like real people on there. Man.
Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, yeah.
Man. Who was your favorite squad on Tecmo Bowl?
Well, I was a Niner guy.
Me too. Yeah.
I was a Niner guy.
I was Niners and the Bears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jim McMahon or Joe Montana, right? That's what you had.
Yep.
And of course, you got to hand off to Walter Payton, or you got to throw it to Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
So those are my two faves.
Yeah, man.
I like them too.
All right. So when you were around Lincoln, Nebraska, like, and you went to stores and stuff like that, did people recognize you? Well, probably not because you had on helmets, but when you flashed the rings, did you get any preferential? Treatment.
And you know what's crazy about Lincoln, and I tell people this all the time, is I was an offensive lineman, right? I don't know that I paid for a meal or a movie or anything like that my last 2 years of college.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell anybody I would just walk in. They're like, you're good.
You're good.
And you're like, okay. And and I was just like, but people know. People know. They know the team. They know everybody. Yeah. Man, it's such a fanatical fan base up in Lincoln that, man, it's still crazy to this day. Like, I still get cards in the mail. Really? I had a little card, and I still get cards in the mail of people that want me to sign their cards and send it back to them. I'm like, how long ago that was?
Yeah. I didn't win a championship, so I don't get cards.
It was our schedules, though. It was our schedules.
I was on the cover of a schedule.
Yeah, see, you had those. Those are the same thing. When I say cards, that's what it is.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine. You said that fan base when we played you guys in Kansas City.
Yeah.
The Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah. Great game, by the way.
It was a great game, man.
I thought we were going to lose that game.
Man, I almost scored a touchdown. I don't know if you remember, but I was the one that got us to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Like a little out.
Yeah. And then three plays right up the gut.
And we just came out of a timeout. We were running out of time, and the play clock was running down, and we came out, and Tony Ortiz, you know Tony?
Yep.
So I do camps with Tony, too.
Oh,
so he does
really?
them with Camp Impact.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, Tony Ortiz was the guy that made the stop, I think. I think that's what he said.
Yep. But if it wasn't for Joe Walker getting that, the returning the punt for the touchdown. That was kind of the only thing we could do. Man, it's funny you bring up that game, because I've never in my life, like, I felt like I was a pretty smart football player.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I studied film. I knew my job inside and out. I didn't think there was anything I could ever come up against that would ever throw a wrench in my thought process coming up to the line. Like, I knew my rules. I knew what I had to do because we got the ball first in that game. And I just remember breaking the huddle. And our very first play of breaking the huddle was a 34 trap. Mm-hmm. It was handoff to Joel Makovic and going up the middle, right? And so we get set up, and the next thing I know, your defense set up in that wide tackle 6. Mm-hmm. So the closest person to me was a 5 technique.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
Right? And then you had your linebackers that were over the guards, and then you had your middle linebacker or your strong safety, whoever it was, that was right like 3 yards behind them.
Yeah.
And it was all just to stop the option.
Yes.
And we're running a trap. I'm supposed to block back on a trap. Like, I know I'm not blocking back on a 5 technique.
Right.
I know I can't go there. So I went up and I ended up hitting a backer. But, man, that defense.
That made you think.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And it shocked us. I mean, it shocked us for a while, which, thinking back now, we should have just ran quarterback sweep until you stopped it.
Until we stopped it, yeah.
Because we could have got 6, 7 yards, 8 yards, maybe even popped one if we just did that.
Who was the quarterback at that time?
Crouch,
yeah, Eric Crouch. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And, I mean, he was good enough to pop it. Right?
Yeah.
So, he did all right.
Now, I want to say at that time, Rob Ryan was our defensive coordinator. So that's probably what made you think a little bit.
Yeah. He came out with something special, and I was like, golly. And he said that. He was like, well, got something special for him. I was like, yeah, whatever. We got this.
And we had some good players, too. So
You did.
Yeah, we had some good players, man. All right, I'm gonna do some hot seat questions for you, man.
Ooh, okay.
Better Oklahoma lineman, Creed Humphrey or Lane Johnson?
Man, I would probably say, man, I don't know. I'd probably lean towards Lane.
Okay.
He's got and not saying that Creed doesn't have the Super Bowl, but man, I think an offensive tackle is a whole lot. They're usually a lot more athletic than us big old centers in the middle.
Okay. Worst stadium food you ever ate on the road?
Worst. Oh, wow.
Well, I guess you hadn't.
Well, so ours is weird, right? Like I was a weird guy. My pregame meal, every game, was I'd have 6 packets of instant maple and brown sugar oatmeal.
What?
Yep, they would have, and that's just what I wanted.
Okay,
right? That's just what I wanted, and everybody would have eggs and sausage and bacon. You know, because back then the games were at 1:00.
Yeah,
we didn't even have lights in our stadium.
Okay,
back when we played, right? So we were playing night games, so everything was at 1:00. And so, as far as stadium road food, man, those guys were eating some bad stuff, but. I can tell you the best, man. I still miss it to this day. I love. You ever have a Runza?
What? A
Runza? It's called it's a restaurant in Lincoln called Runza.
No.
Oh, bro, they're like little like meat pockets with like cabbage and it's seasoned, and they're phenomenal. They serve them at the stadium.
Sounds good.
And they have it, so that's really good.
I don't think I've ever been to Lincoln.
Have you not?
To play there? No. Y'all think you came to OSU that first year? And then I think we skipped a year, and then we played you at Arrowhead Stadium my junior year.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that was it.
Never went up there.
True or false? You ever played through a game with a legit injury because tough guys rule? So
yeah. Probably. I mean, obviously the back was one, but I played most of the season with that. But probably the one that sticks out more than that was we were playing Florida for the national championship in '95, and I didn't get in that game until beginning of fourth quarter.
Okay.
Right, and so we run an option play, and so I stepped to a 3 technique. He didn't come, and I come up on the backer. When I came up on the backer, he came to fill, and when I did, I got my hand too high. And ended up smashing it in between the 2 helmets, and it literally just ripped the nail off the top of my finger.
Dang. Okay.
Right, and this is first down.
Okay.
First play, first down. And I was and we were wearing whites.
Okay. So
I was like, holy crap, they're going to pull me out of this game for bleeding, right? So all I did is I just pulled up my pants and I stuck my hand down my pants.
Yeah.
And just kind of pressed it. And
the pants were red, or were you all white?
Yeah, ours were actually we were red. We were white tops, red bottoms.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'd put it down there so they couldn't see it, and so that's what I did is I'd hold it there, and then I'd come back for the next play, and I'd take my hand out, and then just blood would just start gushing off my hand. But I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to come out. I was like, I'm playing in a national championship game, my first ever, and I'll be danged if I'm going to come out of this ball game because I hurt a finger.
You'd be talked about. You came out, you broke a fingernail. That's probably what they would say. You broke a fingernail.
Heskew came out with a fingernail. Congratulations.
Yep. What's the funniest thing a coach ever yelled at you during the game? Or well, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. And we all were kind of a part of this.
Okay.
But we ran a throwback screen, right? And as you know, on throwback screens, the backside when you kind of roll out, right? And then the backside, you got to try to pull those defenders in so you can throw right over the top of them for the screen and then be able to get out, right? So I say that, right? Because what I'm about to say is going to sound a little offensive. But if you think about what they're supposed to do, it's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so we would have a coach yell out all the time. He's like, Freddie, and I'm sorry for saying this, but I'd say, Freddie, suck him till he comes. Suck him till he comes.
Okay.
But he wanted him to bring him in, right?
Yeah.
Like suck him, like keep going back and get him till he comes. And he would literally yell that at the top of his lungs
and then people are looking at him.
we were at. And we were just rolling laughing. I mean, and he would do it in meetings. I'm like, dude, we finally tell Tennifer, it's like, you got to get him to stop yelling that. I mean, I don't think he understands what he's saying. Like, there's a better terminology here. Right. And so, but we were just, that was probably the funniest thing because we would roll and everybody would just, I mean, you'd have to stop the play in practice because he'd yell and it's like, look, you can't do that, man.
Like, stop, coach.
Pause.
Put your pause, coach.
No disrespect, but can we get.
Who had the nastiest hands on the team? Someone you did not want to mess with?
I would probably say Jason Peter, man. That guy knew how to use his hands. Yeah. You know, he was big. He was fast. I mean, he could run over you. He could run around you.
Yeah. I remember.
Man. He was really good because I was quick. I was usually really quick about getting my hands on a guy, right? Because once I got my hands on him, they were down.
Yeah.
But man, he was really good, really fast.
Did he end up going to? Was he in Carolina for a long time? Yeah.
Yep.
For a long time. Yeah.
Yep. You ought to. He's got a book out.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, because he kind of fell off the deep end a little bit.
Okay.
And if you ever see it and you like read it, it's good. It's really good because you would sit there, you would see him then, and he was this monster of a man, great athlete, phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see him now, and he's like this 6'5", rail skinny guy. That you wouldn't even think he played golf. Like he could swing a club, and
I probably wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah, unless I knew who he was. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have either.
Wow.
So, but a great story, great comeback story, man.
Which title meant the most? I think we already talked about this.
Yeah,
first one, second one, or that third?
That 97. That 97 was it, man. Like I said, when you're the one and they say starting lineup and you get your name called and then and then hey, we want to present you with the national championship trophy and you're one of the ones grabbing the trophy and because you were the guy that helped get you there. That's good. You know, so you lose sight of that. You know, as your redshirt year, as you're getting the crap beat out of you, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. Which fan base talked the most trash?
Oh, wow. I would say it was a cross between. There was three fan bases that really stuck out the most to me. Colorado, which I thought was the funniest.
Okay.
And they talked a ton of trash. Like I can't tell you that how many people were dressed in the stands and in like jail clothes.
Oh.
Because of Lawrence Phillips, after the Lawrence Phillips deal.
Yeah.
And so they were talking so much trash. Missouri was horrible. They literally would throw things on the field at you.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if you ever got that. Like I got hit in the head with tortillas, oranges, apples. Like we couldn't take our helmets off.
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't take our helmets off on the sidelines because they would throw stuff at us. And then of course K-State, right? They had Michael Bishop and those guys that were out there at the time. And so, man, they were riding high and they thought that they were really, really good. And so, man, they were some trash talking fools.
Sometimes I don't want to tell the story, but one of my first times playing OU at OU.
Yeah.
And I come out of the locker room and there is a disabled middle-aged guy in a wheelchair just talking noise to me. Like I'm coming out the locker room and there's a fence.
Yeah.
And when we come out, it's right next to the sidewalk and street and stuff. I'm like. So I don't tell the story a lot, but I was like, man, why is he this? So, but they talked a lot of trash, of course, because it was Bedlam. Yeah. And then another place was it Tulsa? So Tulsa was pretty bad.
So the in-state schools got you.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
But yeah.
Baylor was funny too. I don't know if you ever remember playing Baylor. I
remember Baylor.
Golly, their stadium was horrible before they built that new one, and I remember it was pouring raining, and their fans were like from me to you. Like I would sit right there, and there's their fans, and so they're sitting right over the top of you, and they'd be talking trash. You look over, it's like, man, have you seen the score? And they're like, just don't score anymore. Just don't score anymore. We just want to have fun with you guys. Just don't score anymore. It's like, well, probably going to score a few more touchdowns.
Yeah. Now the loudest stadium I played in was Tennessee. Yeah. Tennessee Stadium, and then in the Big 12 it was Texas A&M. Did you ever play at A&M?
You get dizzy watching the stands of that one.
Yeah. That was different.
Yeah. They got a pretty rabid fan base. So did Washington. We played at Washington. Yeah. They were number one in the country. In '97 they were number one, and I think we were like number 3. And so we went up to Washington and played them with Brock Heward, and he ended up getting hurt, and Tuiasa Sopo. He ended up coming in, and he was a good quarterback too. But he had all those guys. But we ended up. But what's cool is like Loud. You speak about Loud stadiums. After we played at Arizona State, our whole first and second team all got fit with Miracle Ears.
Dang.
So anytime we went into a rowdy stadium, away stadium that we knew was going to be loud, we had everybody put in Miracle Ears.
Oh, really?
So you could hear the quarterback, and you could actually hear the people in the huddle talk because it filtered out the background noise.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If you had to suit up for one more snap today, who would you want lined up next to you?
Probably my buddy Taylor. I mean, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
Playing with each other, being a left guard, and the last 2 years year and a half or so that I got to start at center. He was a fun one to play with.
Yeah.
I mean, he always had your side. You knew you were secure with that guy, and he was just fun. He was just fun. Just watching him, golly, just like sometimes I felt like I didn't do anything. But just keep a guy on the straight and narrow so he could bury him into the ground. So, it was fun.
Now, did you ever get a chance or an opportunity to play at the next level, the NFL?
So no, I thought so. I thought I was going to get drafted. I got an agent. It was an agent that handled Will Shields' contract and several other Nebraska offensive linemen. And he told me that I was probably going to be anywhere from probably a 4th or a 5th to a 7th round draft pick somewhere. I'd be later in the draft because the centers just weren't. Yeah. That there wasn't a lot of them.
Hot commodity.
Yeah, hot commodity that year. And so I thought I was going to get drafted, and I sat there both days and just kind of twiddled my thumbs. And the only phone call I got was from my agent, and him just telling me, he's like, man, this is not what I expected. And so I ended up just saying, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to try next year. And so I'm going to go up to our pro day up in Lincoln the next year, and I'm going to test out again, because when I tested out last time, I ended up doing it had a sprained ankle. I don't know if you guys did this, but we played basketball. Our seniors would go around the state and play basketball against like alumni of different teams or teachers or whatever the case is. So it was a way for them to kind of pay us a little bit of money and do that. We call it Husker hoops. And so I ended up rolling my ankle during one game like 3 weeks before we had to test for the pros. And so I was like, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. And then so I go up there the next year, and everything was great. And I went to go run my first 40 and blew out my hamstring.
Bang.
Yeah. And so at that point, I was like, well, maybe football's not in my future anymore. And I thought I was done.
Yeah.
I thought I was done. And then of course the Wranglers come to Oklahoma City.
Bob Cortez.
Yeah. Bob. Oh, Bob.
Yeah, Bob. How you doing? He so I tried out for him. And then I brought one of my teammates from O State, Joe Fears. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you play with Joe?
Fears?
He was a quarterback.
Yes.
What was the tall quarterback that you guys had?
Lopez.
Yeah. Lopez and so
Ron Lopez.
He was Joe's. He was Lopez's backup.
Yeah.
Because I guess Fuente was there. I think. And then I told Cortez, hey, man, if I'm gonna come try out, I need to bring my quarterback.
Yeah.
So we tried out. I did pretty good, but they already had some veterans there. But he said, hey, I gotta tell Justin, we gotta switch it up. So he ended up signing with the Wranglers too. But I played with the Yard Dogs when they came back. So that was fun.
It is fun. It is. Yeah. It's definitely a different style of football.
Yeah.
But it's fun. You got to go both ways. Somebody kick your butt on one side of the ball, you got to turn around and get a shot.
You can go. Yeah. And so you were pretty good because you played defense too, or were you still in that defensive mindset? Could you play?
I felt like I still had my moves.
Yeah.
So that's just a fast game.
It is.
As a defensive lineman in that league. Unless they hold on to it and they make a bad mistake, you're just
got to hope to bat one down or something.
Yeah, because they're not running the ball very often either.
No. How long did you play with them?
They were here for 2 years. I played both years for them. And then once that dissipated, once they shut down, I went up to Indianapolis.
Okay.
For the Firebirds. Went up there, went through training camp, did all that stuff. And man, we were about to head into the first week of the season. It's right after our last preseason game. We went out to Massachusetts, Worcester, Massachusetts. And we came back, and I was like, I just didn't want to play anymore.
Can't do it no more.
Yeah, I mean, I did that because it was at home, and that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I wasn't interested. I told the Iowa Barnstormers when I was up in Lincoln that I wasn't interested in playing arena football.
Yeah.
I didn't really care to. I didn't really want to stay away from home and not make some decent money.
Right.
And so once it left Oklahoma City, then I was kind of like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's probably time to. I had shoulder problems and had torn meniscus in my knee and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, it's probably best if I quit. That way I can walk at a later date.
Yeah. Now, when did you meet your wife and have your children and all that stuff? Was that too far out or?
Well, it was after playing. It was shortly after that. What's funny is once we kind of got together, she went to a few Wrangler games.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, you did get to watch me play. You just had no clue you were watching me play.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got married in 2006. We met. We went on a blind date in 2000. I think it's 2004. I think is when we started dating.
Looking for the
and I
signs over there.
Yeah, made her wait a year. I made her wait a year until of dating before I proposed. But it was a blind date. My best friend in high school, his cousin is married. If you follow me here, his cousin is married to her sister. Okay. And so it's people that I've known my whole life. Yeah. And then they end up setting us up on a blind date. And man, we hit it off and. Yeah. We hung out for a year and got engaged in Mexico and then we wanted to have kids shortly after that because we got married and I was 29, so I was like, I don't want to be raising kids on Social Security and kids are expensive, man. Yeah,
and so you were done playing football at that time.
Yep.
So do your kids believe that you were a beast? Do they?
No.
They don't.
No, my kids don't. My kids don't think
care.
I know anything about sports.
Okay,
it's crazy. It's
even though you're a Hall of Famer, got 3 national titles, and
they've held the rings. I mean, they don't put those in Cracker Jack boxes.
Yeah,
right?
no, you can't find those. No.
But I don't think they understand kind of the magnitude, and I get it.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, I mean, they think the game was different. Is different now than what it was then, and. It's probably not as relevant, but it's the attitude's still the same. The work ethic is still the same. Yeah. There's no new recipe to success. No. It's always been the same recipe, and that's just
now a lot of money's involved.
Yeah. Tell me about it. That's what we always tell them. It's like, hey, we'll pay for everything it takes for you to get a scholarship. Yeah. Right, and that's your school. Yeah. And if you don't get a scholarship and you have to pay for your own school, then you have to pay for your own school, but we shelled out the money, up to that point. So take advantage of that, of all the trainings you can get. Yeah. So, but my kids are great. They're all really, 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 really involved in sports. Their work ethics are good. Yeah. I mean, with so much distractions nowadays and technologies and stuff, they struggle just like every other kid that's out there. But whether it's football, baseball, basketball, track, cross country, volleyball, we're in it all. Yeah. So we're running all year long.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, all year long, as well with coaching and teaching and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So now you're coaching. Are you coaching at Newcastle?
Yeah.
Newcastle. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you coaching up there?
This will be my first year full time teaching and coaching.
Okay.
So I was in the business realm for the last 20 plus years in the auto industry. Ended up not doing that anymore. And so I have an education degree, English, history, and social studies. So I was like, you know what? I want to go pursue that.
There you go.
There's nothing like starting a new career later on in life. But you know what? It's something that I've wanted to do, something that I felt like the good Lord's led me to do and has blessed me with the talent to be able to do it and the resources now. And so.
Did you wear your rings at your wedding? Your national championship?
I didn't.
Rings you did?
I didn't. I probably for a little while. I was.
You were on the reunions and stuff.
I'll wear them then at time. I used to wear them a lot when I first started in sales, right?
Okay.
Just to I do a lot of cold calling. So you walk in the door, you're like, hey, and you have a big old fat ring on your hand. Like you go out for handshakes like this, like, hey, right. And that way they see it. And do it. But
something to talk about.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because ever since I've had kids and I don't make this too big of a deal, but ever since I surrendered my life to Christ, I mean, those things are they don't really see the light of day. People don't even believe I have them anymore.
Okay.
Because people don't ever see them. They're in our cabinet in our bathroom, just sitting in a little jewelry bowl.
Okay.
I don't even have them displayed anywhere. It's crazy, man.
Wow,
I want to see them succeed, and I just want to pour into these kids and the youth and all that kind of stuff. And that's the bigger deal to me, and the bigger picture, right? Playing for the ultimate man upstairs and teaching them that and showing them that the greatest achievement you'll ever have in life is surrendering your life to Christ.
Yeah.
These are just material things that can be stolen or yanked away from you never get. So, but as cool as they all are, that's probably
absolutely
obviously my biggest accomplishment.
So what life lessons did football teach you that you lean on most today?
Probably just work hard. It's don't settle a whole lot of expectations. Just keep your head down and work hard, right? And I still believe that in everything that I do, and that's kind of the things that I tell my kids too. And I have my oldest he'll be a freshman next year at Southwestern.
Okay.
So he gets an opportunity to go play ball. And, I tell him, I was like, your expectations just need to be that you go in, you keep your head down, you keep your nose clean, you work as hard as you possibly can, and then let the coaches figure out where you're going to play. Because good things will happen if you do that.
Yeah, if you do that.
And so I've just kind of taken that, as my perspective, my whole life. Just work hard. And good things will happen. Bad things will happen too.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, good things are going to happen.
More good than
bad. Yeah, you'll have more good days than bad days, that's for sure.
This or that.
Okay.
Mustang Fridays or Lincoln Saturdays?
Lincoln Saturdays.
Okay. And doesn't beat that, huh?
Yeah, everything shuts down.
Yep. Film room or weight room?
Weight room.
Weight room?
Okay. I love the weight room. We always had fun, man. It was so competitive in the weight room just as well as it was out there in the field. Wow. So we had fun.
Red jerseys or alternate black unis?
Man, I'm an old school guy. I got to go with the red.
Okay.
And you know what? Our record's not too good in the alternate black. So
okay.
I'll take the red all day long.
Yeah. Playing in the cold or in the heat?
Cold.
It's like cold better?
Love it. Love it.
I don't know. I don't know.
We were playing UAB my senior year, and I'm pulling on a sweep, and literally the sole of my shoe melts on the turf.
Dang.
I've never had that. I had to change shoes because it melted. Dang. But then we play Iowa State my senior year, and literally in the course of that ball game, they end up getting, I don't know, like 14 inches of snow. It was a blizzard we were playing in. Couldn't keep the snow off the field. Couldn't see the lines. Yeah. Didn't know anything. And it was just like an ice rink.
Did y'all finish the game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it was fun.
Okay.
It was a blast.
Now, see, me being a receiver, I had to use my hands.
Yeah.
I can't do that when it's been cold as hell. I can't feel them, so I can't catch a ball. And if I go to block somebody, I'm done, coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So championship parade or locker room celebration?
Ooh. Man, I would say locker room celebration. I mean, just having those intimate moments with those guys after everything's all said and done, and you've accomplished what everybody worked hard for that year, and just having that intimate moment. I mean, because it is. I mean, you know how it is in the locker room. I mean, everybody is there. They're vulnerable. We all know what we did. We don't have to put on this tough facade, for anybody out there. Just in that, it was great. I mean, a lot of big dudes with their shirts off hugging each other. So that it was.
Yeah. Coaching style, Tom Osborne or Urban Meyer?
Man, I read Urban's book this year, so his book is really good. But man, I'm gonna say Osborne, man, just because, man, it's a run first mentality, and it's what we're going to do. Come stop us.
Yeah. And
it sounds very egotistical, but it's very confident.
That's what it is,
right? Yeah. Because of your preparation, and not just on the field, but also before you ever hit the field in the weight room and stuff.
Big hit or pancake blocks?
Pancake. Pancake.
That's a lineman's dream.
Oh, you melt into them. Once you pancake them, you melt into them, and you get up as slow as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Home cooked meal or team cafeteria?
Home cooked meal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turf toe or a helmet to the ribs?
I think I'd take the helmet to the ribs.
Okay.
Man, I had turf toe in college.
I did
and
too, man. Oh, boy.
You did too?
Yes.
Did you have to put the steel plate in your shoe?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
Still not fun.
No, it's still
not fun at all, man.
Yeah.
And but at least you can somewhat control the ribs, maybe, if you kind of
there you go.
angle yourself. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
toe, you have to run. You have to push off. You have to do. I mean, there's no hiding that.
Getting your name announced at home or hearing the crowd boo you on the road?
Oh, announced at home.
That's home? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it, man. I mean, just fan bases are fun. Although booing's kind of that. I will say that Missouri game was pretty fun when they booed the crap out of us. And it was pretty. When they started throwing things that are a little ridiculous.
I can't believe they threw apples.
Yeah. Oranges, apples, tortilla, you name it. I mean, they were throwing everything at us.
Now, they were throwing, we were at 6-0 at home, ranked 12th in the nation, and we thought we were going to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, they did throw some oranges, but it was at Cowboy Stadium, so I mean, at our stadium, so that was cool. When people say Josh Heskew, Mustang to Nebraska, what do you hope they remember about your name? That
I've always respected the game. I've always respected the people. I've always respected the coaches. I always came in with an attitude of team first, wanting to see the team succeed over myself. Just a guy that got what he deserved, right?
Yeah.
By hard work and dedication and doing what he was supposed to do.
It's good stuff, man. Well, 3-time national champion. I appreciate. No, now you're man of faith. I mean, you've probably always been a man of faith, but
came to Christ when I was 30 years old.
Okay.
After I got married.
Okay.
With my wife, I met her. We started going to church. She and then the Lord got a hold of me at that given point.